Okay. Well, the Parks and Recreation regular meeting for Thursday, February 1st, 2024 will begin at 7:16.
What?
Yeah, I got it.
Roll. Brazil is here. Lyle is absent, he's sick. Moretti,
Here,
Fassbender,
She's not on.
he's not here. Anders,
Here.
all right, and then we can look at the approval of agenda. So it looks like we have a lot of minutes that have not been approved yet. I don't know if we reviewed them all.
Do we have them to review?
Were those not distributed?
Maybe.
We've only had a couple.
I've got hard copies here. Let me see, let me try to navigate to the cities. Folder where they're located. We'll pull it up on the screen.
A lot to review.
Yeah.
All right. For those. Do you want me to pull these up? Or do you want to postpone it until you've had a chance to review?
Well, we can go through the agenda that we have the minutes, new business, old business, and
I can
possibly
review
other
minutes.
business.
Yeah, like at a later time. You don't want to
Yeah.
go through the minutes now, do you?
I think it would be a lot of time,
It would.
and so maybe we can go look at them on our own. It's also possible that some of these have been approved already, because we did approve a bunch,
We did like 5 months
Five.
worth, I think.
but maybe those were, so I'm not sure if those were approved or on this list, I guess.
That's true.
So, with the understanding that we will approve the minutes. Each individual will review the minutes on their own from the city's website. And we can come back and maybe approve them next visit, that way, or next, meeting. That way we don't have to go through, it looks like there's about 12 of them there. We can maybe review those on our own. Does
Okay.
that sound reasonable?
sounds good.
I agree.
Alright. Does someone want a motion to approve the agenda for today? I will motion to approve the agenda for today.
I'll second. Okay.
All in
third.
favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Alright. I just was curious, because, and I didn't have a chance to look at much, this is new business. About any damage to the parks from the ice storm. I know there's some, like the park that's below, the Sunrise development has some trees down, but obviously there's not much to damage there, but I was sort of curious about Paul Fisher, if some of the trees from the tree program got damaged, or if any of the facilities were damaged from the storm that we just had. I didn't have a chance to look, but I'm just more of a curiosity, and it's something we have to think about. Either.
Well, I can respond to that. There was some minor tree damage at Rolling Rock Park. At the cemetery, there on the very back of the property, there's a big tree that had some limbs that came down, and actually one of our employees' yard, and our public works crew was able to remove that. Other than that, it doesn't seem like there was that much damage to our facilities.
Good, that's great. Yeah, I was just more curious, because if we needed to take any action, but it sounds like it's, we didn't have any major damage. And then we have the Lowell cleanup day or beautification day. What would you say?
That wasn't new business, was it? We discussed it.
Yeah, that would be, should be under old business, shouldn't it? Yeah. But and I think I don't have my notes that come here right away. I think we agreed on a date, but I think I got an email that, because it was the first weekend of May, wasn't it?
Yeah, because remember, we were
Yes.
all making jokes about Star Wars Day,
Yeah, that's right.
May the 4th.
May the 4th, you were, yeah. I think Shannon sent me an email that said that students might be not available then.
I don't know why.
Let me just check that real
She
quick.
did say May the 4th, but we had already discussed that that was the weekend every year that we do it.
So she said, seniors will need volunteer hours so I can get some for cleanup day, just need to avoid a few weekends, April 27th and May 4th. So I know we haven't advertised yet, but I just thought I would put it out there as if we should change the day or just not worry about it and go for the May
Go
4th.
You
Well,
cut
what
out
about how about May 11th? Or is that Mother's Day weekend?
Look it up.
Okay.
I don't know when Mother's Day is. Let me look and see if it says on my phone.
That's Mother's Day.
Oh,
It is, okay, never mind. Well, May 4th is fine, sounds fine by me. We always did it the first weekend of May anyhow. So, yeah,
Maybe what the school website says for May 4th and see what's up that weekend. Because if a bunch of families are gonna be traveling with students, then might not be a good weekend to get a bunch of traffic anyway. So, that's one.
yes.
Where we're at, but he always wants to pull up another state.
there's lots of rules.
I know, the one on the East Coast always comes up first, even though our phones are always like, I know exactly where you're at. You wanna see the East Coast because you're in Florida.
District count, actually, that. I'll have a good cell tower nearby.
My phone's been weird since the ice storm.
Let's see the.
There you go. Jeremy's got it up. Great view.
Okay. Mhm.
The school board meeting for that Monday, but second budget committee. I don't see anything for,
Yeah, do they have like sports or anything on
I
there?
don't know, maybe it's a personal thing that she needs to not
Hmm.
schedule for that weekend. We could verify, but. Tony, didn't you say that it's always on May 4th every year?
First weekend of May.
It's always the first Saturday.
First Saturday of May,
Yeah, in May.
guess maybe we stick to that.
I think, and we can, I mean. I'd be fine, if we can vote on it, if you. Yeah. we can- I think we
But
can
if it's,
vote on
if it's gonna affect the volunteers that we get from the school, we can, you know, accommodate them. You know, we could always do it the weekend after Mother's Day.
Unfortunately, we don't know why she said we needed to
Oh.
avoid.
Okay, yeah, I just
Oh,
got that.
we don't know if it would affect our volunteers or not.
Okay,
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, I don't know when graduation is, it seems like that would be in June.
Maybe we should put it out on an email and hold a vote via email.
yeah, that would work.
Find out why May 4th isn't a good weekend and go from there.
Yeah,
Or
Yeah, I guess we could decide. The exact date next month and then put it in the bridge.
by the end of this
for-
month.
Before the April. Yeah, April and May, we put it in the bridge. The bridge for both April and May. Yeah, I think we could. That sounds like a plan to me, cause I'll send a email and just say why is the 4th not a good day.
okay,
So I'll do that. All right, and then we'll get back to everybody, well, I'll follow up with the email to everybody. And then we can decide next meeting. If the 4th is the best day. Anything else on that before we move on? Oh, I did have some thing on that as to if anyone has ideas on what we should focus on, because we usually have like a area we focus on. If you guys have ideas. Nobody does, that's fine, but it's something to think about.
Yeah.
We should. And George brought up is taking a look at the list that we have. Of the projects that are ongoing, maybe tackle some of those possible projects. That's what partially I want to look at the parks, see if there's any damage, because that might be a thing, but it sounds like that's all, we survived pretty well with that, but. So yeah, that's the other part is just. Come up with some, and I'll send this to Shannon and George, just. Things that, for the next meeting that we might want to focus on with our volunteers, like we want to spread park, or we want to. Do this or that, and then we probably want to make sure we coordinate with Max. Because sometimes he will get some. Wood chips or bark to help a certain area.
all right.
Because it would be nice to have like him or available, or. Because he's usually volunteers that day too, so
Okay,
if he's available for. Anything else on the
Yeah, I was wondering if we had any idea when the swing sets were gonna go in.
Yeah, I'll turn that over to,
Okay. Oh my god,
Sure.
Jeremy, sorry, Jeremy. Like my mind is from blank. I'll turn it over to Jeremy to talk about that. 'Cause I sent him a few questions, about what we had from last meeting, and so he's here to answer some of those.
We don't have funding in the budget for this fiscal year for the swing sets. I would encourage the Parks Committee to develop budget requests and to submit them to me. I'm starting to work on the budget now.
Okay,
And throughout the rest of this month and into March, I'll be finishing the recommended budget with a first budget committee meeting on the first Wednesday in April. So if you have any requests for parks projects, they should be forwarded to me soon.
okay,
So to answer the question, we don't have funding this year for the swings. If the Parks Committee has budget requests, I'll do my best to accommodate those. And if they're funded, we could start after July 1.
So, just
Okay.
so I can clarify. I know that the budgets go like July to July, right? But when they're set in July, does that mean that money starts in January or that money starts in July?
No, the fiscal year starts on July 1.
Okay,
So on July 1, the new budget is in effect, and then it runs through June 30th.
so if it gets approved, we could really see them by fall because it's the fiscal year, right?
If they're funded for the fiscal year beginning July 1, July could be the earliest we could order them. And then depending on how quickly the vendor could get it here, it possibly could be by.
So we're not talking like 2025 if
Correct,
it's
correct,
approved.
correct.
Yeah, let's see. List of questions that I have.
And I would also, encourage the Parks Committee to show up at budget committee meetings, your citizens too, you're free to give testimony on what you think the budget needs to look like, so keep that in mind as well.
okay.
Yeah, that was one question we had was swings and this probably is small enough. Item that probably wouldn't be a huge deal, but we wanted to get a plaque for the people who donated for the tree program. I don't know if that would be a budgetary thing or if we should try a different approach on that. That's one thing we wanted to do. So that way it's just, you know, they're those who are part of the tree program. So I think we could, as a group, we can probably brainstorm some ideas for what we want on the budget. I mean, and it might be already, some of it might be already on there, but I think the swings were one. Of course, the bathroom.
Thought that was fixed.
I think they're maybe thinking about getting like the metal high reduced. You know, the ones that don't get damaged to these people.
Maybe we should make a list of the things that we can put in our request for and vote. Like review as a committee and say prioritize like
Yeah.
the things that we think we should request first.
Yeah.
That sounds good, yeah.
You wanna do that now or come up with it on our own and do it next meeting?
We could all come up with a short list of what we think we should request money for, and then prioritize them from 1 to 5 at the next meeting.
All right.
Yep.
And I'll send out a thing to George and Shannon
Okay,
to say.
Yeah.
5 things I think we should work on.
so we have homework.
Yeah. For parks budget. And then we can talk about, next meeting and then.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, sorry,
Okay.
with the tree budget, there was like a little residual amount left over at the end of buying all the trees. Do you remember that? There was like X amount went to each tree, and then there was like a little bit left over at the end that was like a little floating money. Why couldn't we use that maybe to go towards the plaque?
Possibly could, I would. My recommendation would be to look at what kind of plaque you wanna buy,
Hmm.
decide on that as a committee, and then present your idea to the city council.
All right. Which flag? All right. That should be doable. Anybody wanna take a lead and look at different plaques that we might wanna do?
Well, we've waffled on this at every meeting since I started.
Yeah, we talked about doing an outdoor one. Those were expensive.
Yeah, and I said the one in City Hall. So it could just be like a small picture frame of the park and the trees and then little things inside of it seemed the most cost effective, and I can look up plaque ideas before we come back. Do an outdoor one, an indoor one, and an individual tree one, and give a price comparison in retrospect to the money that was left over, and say, we can afford to do this without having to make a.
Might get a budgetary request. Yeah, but I think I do remember the outdoor ones are quite expensive.
They were more than the swing sets.
Yeah, they were couple thousand or more or something like that.
And I keep circling, and I wasn't part of it then, but I keep circling back to the idea that we never promised anyone a plaque to
Mhm.
begin with.
Yeah,
So why spend $3,000 on a plaque, a sign in the park that we never promised anyone, when we could be putting that money towards swing sets that would actually
yeah,
physically be used instead of stereotypes?
I believe I can provide some context here. I believe the original idea was to give donors the opportunity to put in something similar to what Hall has for his tree. Have you seen that
Yes.
for his sister, I believe it was? With the committee being tasked with coming up with a design guideline
Mhm.
for what those could look like, and then a donor could install that. They would pay for it, but they would have the opportunity to take advantage of that.
Okay. I'll get a picture of that for our.
So that may still be an option,
Mhm.
but you could supplement that with a memorial at City Hall that listed like what you suggested.
Yeah, I think we did discuss that last time, that it probably wouldn't be that expensive to do, you know, plaque. I think from my perspective, that seems like a reasonable solution, but we could offer.
Or
If you
even
want
for
your
a
own plaque.
library, that way the kids can see it. I mean,
Yeah,
kids don't go
yeah.
to City Hall like nearly as much, but maybe if you put it in the
yeah,
library. I mean, that's what people go there to do, to read.
yeah, sure. Okay, so Lisa's gonna look into plaque, and I think we were I mean, I don't want to put thoughts or words in people's mouths, but I think we were leaning more toward in the city hall plaque.
Yeah.
Less expensive. And that was my understanding of like the last meeting. Anything else on the plaques? And going back to the questions, that we had is, and maybe I couldn't tell if it was fixed when I came into town just a few minutes ago. And maybe this is even a city thing, but I think Lisa brought up the flashing lights of the crosswalks.
Yeah. They started flashing during the ice storm, like somebody was in the crosswalk, and it's both sides. It's the one when you're coming from Highway 58 up through town, but I thought they were fixed because they stopped flashing. And then the other night, they started flashing again, and there's still nobody in the crosswalks, and I mean, if you sit and look around, there's nobody been in the crosswalk, so they're just flashing endlessly. And one night, the car in front of us almost hit a kid in the crosswalk because they've just been flashing nonstop. So I don't know if the wiring got messed up from the ice storm or what. And it's not even all the lights. Have you seen it, Jeremy? It's not even all the lights around it. It's just like one or two lights. on either
Random,
side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I seen that.
Yeah, do you know who's like, is that the county who's like?
Lane County Public Works.
Okay,
And if somebody on the committee would like to report that, I can give you the contact info.
I'll do it if you want.
Okay.
I'm surprised that it has to go to Lane County.
I think that's all.
Lights in the caboose, George made it sound like there's no power to the caboose in his email.
That's what it sounded like. I haven't been over there to check. And I don't know if it was damage from the ice storm.
I wonder, do we know if the stage has power?
I haven't checked.
You would think maybe the breaker over there might control the power to the caboose.
There was an electrical problem in the caboose and we shut the power off to it.
Oh, do we have a timeline on getting that fixed?
No. I don't have an update.
Okay. All right.
Was it caused by the ice storm?
No, this was beforehand. What it was Sam was preparing the bills. And then she saw the electric bill for the caboose and it was abnormally high. So they went to check it out and saw that there was an issue there.
Okay.
Gotcha. Just like
That's good. She got that.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we do to figure out what the problem is with the caboose?
We're just gonna have to wait until Public Works can get to it and get an electrician out there to take a look.
I'll let George know. I'll let everybody else, meet George and Shannon know. Is there any other business anyone wants to discuss?
Nope.
I have a few items.
Yeah, go ahead.
This will probably be the last meeting I'll be able to attend for a while. We just have a lot of other projects in the works with Public Works. In particular, we have some very important water system projects that we're
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to handle.
Your updates. I've been reading your updates.
Yeah. So one of the updates that we're trying to get in place before the next dam drawdown is some retrofits to the water plants. We don't have such a problem with it. So that's with that and some development issues, that's where my attention and the public works attention has to be. So. But you're always welcome to reach out to me. You have a great chairman here who's been proactive and great to reach out to me and to meet and communicate. What the committee has been doing. So you're in good hands, but, and like I said, I'm accessible if I can be of assistance.
And is, I was gonna ask, so we wanna coordinate, is Max gonna be available, or is he not, and that's okay if he's not, I just was curious. And for, if, cause he was coming to meetings initially, would he be available?
I don't believe so. We've just
Okay.
got so much on our plate right now.
Okay, yeah, alright. And any other stuff you wanted to talk about? Or?
I think that was it. If I think of anything, I'll forward it to y'all. And as parks related topics come up, I'll forward it to you. And like I said, if you have any questions, reach out to me.
Okay, you had mentioned the park that's behind, or on the old railroad track that's behind the under
Correct.
Sunrise. Is that going to be closed off eventually, or is it that's the statewide issue sort of resolved at this point?
Right. We're gonna have to close that off until there's a resolution. Did I talk about this last time? Do y'all know what I'm?
No.
So this,
So
You
is
told me
this
about
the inlet to the lake over by the waterworks?
no, this is down below Sunridge where the rail trail park is, what they call the rail trail park.
You know where Wet Low Drive is?
Yeah, Wetlow.
And you keep, there's this little thing that goes down this hill, looks like it's.
It used to be a boat ramp, right, a long time ago.
No, it used to be the old railroad. Railroad was there for the
Railroad
lumber.
track.
Let me show you. I'm gonna pull it up here on that.
It connects to the Pacific Coast Trail or whatever. It's like, it's close, it is sort of close to the water, but it's like,
All right. So here's the city hall. We're going up West Boundary Road, up Wetlow Drive. And then as you're going up Wetlow Drive, there's this little turnoff here. And it takes you down to this wooded area below the Sunridge development.
I think it goes on for like a mile. 15
Wow, I actually had no idea that was public.
Yeah, it's sort of cool though.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is city
yeah.
property. This is city property. It's a park. This is actually a park too. This big open space, 3 acres behind the houses. It's supposed to be a park, but it's just
Well, why don't we sell that instead of in the middle of town?
to sell this. Well,
I don't think anybody can build on it.
there's no access for one, and for two, it's subject to a perpetual deed restriction to be a park. The person who donated it made it up, said it has to be a park in perpetuity. But anyhow, going back to Joe's point, is there was a court decision having to do with recreational immunity. A recreational immunity is the idea that if you're recreating in a park or on a trail and you get hurt, you can't sue the city because there's danger inherent in recreating. So what happened was a person was walking on a trail that goes to the beach. They got hurt on that trail, they sued the city, and then the appeals court sided with that person. So it changed the doctrine having to do with recreational immunity. So we are going to close this park and because people traverse it to get from one point to the other
Right.
until the legislature resolves the issue having to do with recreational immunity in order to reduce risk exposure.
Hmm.
Yeah, so,
Okay,
yeah, anybody else have any other business?
nope,
I don't think there's anyone from the community for community comments.
Do you want to speak on behalf of the community?
Yeah, do you
No,
have any concerns about the parks?
we get a Gaga ball pit at the school.
A what?
That's,
A
It's-
Gaga ball pit.
No, we don't.
I still don't know what it is.
A Gaga ball pit?
They want one in the park.
That might be on our top 5 list.
There you go.
Maybe we can,
I'll have to figure out what it is.
That's, hold on, how do you spell that?
Gaga ball? I don't know.
Well,
It's
basically,
inside of like a. There you go.
so it's like a hexagon. And it's a really fun game, so basically. You can't hit it with your feet. If it touches your feet, you're out. You pick it up, you're out.
oh, I've seen it.
How do you move the ball?
You hit it with your
With
hand.
your hand, huh?
Oh, but you can't pick it up.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, you try to hit somebody.
So
with
they
the ball.
used to have one of these pits at the school
Oh,
and
yeah.
they took it
I
out.
remember that,
and then they remade it
oh, yeah,
again.
But the kids miss it a lot,
It was our favorite game.
yeah. Well, we can't put it in the school, but
but we might be able to put it on our priority list for the park.
yeah.
All right. Gaga.
Ball.
I'm surprised you didn't say swimming pool.
Or that, yeah.
Gaga ball.
I have a feeling that. You're not past.
And what kind of ball do you use? Like a dodgeball type ball?
A rubber ball, like a,
I think they were using touch ball.
yeah, dodgeball doll.
yeah, kickball.
Cause you know, these kids these days can't play dodgeball.
No, they didn't just play
I
dodgeball.
never heard of that. Gaga ball pit.
They were pretty bummed when I got taken out of the school.
Yeah. All right, well,
Put in the budget, that's all I can say.
all right. Yeah, we will bring it up at our next meeting.
Okay.
That looks sort of cool.
It sounds good. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, anything else?
Nope.
All right, I motion to adjourn the meeting. Okay. All in favor?
I,
Aye. All opposed? Okay. This Parks and Recreation meeting is concluded at 7:54.
Thank you.
alrighty,
Yeah, Tony, are you out of town?
all right, have a good one.
You too.